turn it here?
Yes.
Okay, that's totally fine. You know, you can keep doing that. Another way you can do it. See, there's 3 modes on here. This is the gas valve. You have an off mode, a pilot mode, and you can't see it, but the 3rd mode says on.
Okay, and so when the arrow is pointing to whatever it's
this very small arrow is actually pointing to on.
So that's on.
If I turn it to pilot, now the gas stopped, right? Because, and if you turn it to on, you hear it fire up.
Oh, yes.
So some people just go like that, because that's only going to allow the pilot light if you don't want to use any gas. Pilots are safe. They are. They're designed to go out if something goes wrong. So to keep this video brief, we're gonna go ahead and switch it to off. So in which case, this one's not really going to the. There we go. You have to like. You see, in pilot mode, it depresses. It doesn't do that in on mode.
Or off mode.
No, and you almost have to, anyways, to get it over to off, but we don't need it in off. So what you would do if the pilot's ever out, you put it in pilot mode, right? And then all you do is push down here, and if we have the grill lighter, it's hard to see, but if you follow this silver tube, see there's a copper tube and a silver one right here. That's the pilot tube itself. So you want to, if you know, follow the pilot tube. Basically, it's down in here, but you do got to stick your head down. So I get a little bit of a view. You get your little light here. You get to where the pilot is. Then you push this down. Look, I'm pushing the pilot down. Okay.
And then
now it's lit.
And now it's lit.
This is the most important part. You have to keep holding it. Probably for about 30 to 45 seconds. I usually just hold them for about a minute. See what'll happen, and if you poke your head down, the pilot light's still going. It just looks like a little candle light, and it's still going. And it has to heat up this copper line, which is a thermocouple. That's why I'm holding it, because if I let go, the pilot's going to just snuff out. What we want to do is have the pilot remain lit. They all work the same. All the pilots work the same. So we are depressing the gas. It's letting a minute amount of gas flow through the gas valve because I'm manually pushing it to the pilot tube, and it's keeping it lit. And after about 45 seconds, it'll be hot enough where you take your head down and you let off. Okay, it's remaining lit all on its own, which is what we want. It has to heat up. If you lift it off too quick, the light goes out. You just have to relight it. So that's it. And now you go.
Turn it over to on, and you're off to the races.
That's it. And then you can adjust the temperature. So it's basically just depressing it for long enough, because people get it lit and then they let it off and turn to on, and they say, why is it not working? You have to keep it lit for about a minute.
Wow.
And that preheats the thermocouple, which keeps the pilot on. So there's your lesson.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, so because if the pilot light goes out, say hypothetically, if you get a backdraft, a real windy day, it can blow the pilots out. And you don't want to be feeding gas into the machine if the pilot's not on, because then gas would build up, right?
Yes.
You only want to be, so what it does is the pilot light hits this thermocouple, and it's like a sensor. It says we have a flame, and if the thermocouple loses its heat, if the pilot goes out, it's not heating the thermocouple. Then after about a minute, it'll shut the gas off, so it won't be giving you that small amount of pilot gas. So anyways, it's a safety mechanism. And they're pretty foolproof. They've been working for 100 years.
The panel you've taken off, that's just got some screws.
Then this just goes like this. It doesn't even have to shut all the way. This little sliding door.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
That's fine. Some of them don't even have that door.
And then that just clips on.
Yeah,
it doesn't have any
you got 4 things here.
Yeah.
So you just go ahead and you put the 2 in.
Oh yeah.
And then there's a notch. They're a bit tricky. You don't even actually need it, but
it's just for
it's not like, it's...
So the mice going by don't think it's not right.
Yeah, sometimes they hardly ever stick on properly. It's not a big deal if they fall down.
I think we can wrap it up there.
But just when we leave the cottage, is it okay to do what we were doing?
Absolutely,
Just
absolutely.
turn
But
down
if
the
you
level of heat,
if you wanted to use the least amount of gas. You're not going to hurt anything. You just turn it to pilot. Look, I can't even turn it any further. Remember, because the next one's off, because you have to like push it down, and so it's that's the way.
So it relights that easily now that it's going.
Wow.
That easily, and you just needed a new pilot assembly. It was all worn down, which are these two pipes, and they go down and connect to this little lighting apparatus. It's a whole kit.